Welcome to Wrestling Throne. There are moments in professional wrestling when the air itself feels heavier, when every glance carries meaning, and when silence speaks louder than any entrance music ever could. Roman Reigns stands at the center of one of those moments right now. His next move does not feel like a simple storyline beat or a routine creative turn. It feels like the closing of a chapter that defined an entire generation. The kind of chapter that, once finished, can never truly be reopened. WWE has seen eras rise and fall before, but rarely has the ending felt this deliberate, this calculated, and this inevitable. Roman Reigns has never been just another superstar. From the moment he stepped into the spotlight, the company molded its future around him, and over time, he molded the company back in his own image. His rise was not smooth, and his acceptance was not immediate, but that struggle forged something far more dangerous than instant success ever could. It created a performer who understands pressure, rejection, and the psychology of control better than almost anyone who has ever stepped into a WWE ring. For years, Roman Reigns represented dominance not just through championships, but through presence. When he appeared, everything else slowed down. Stories bent around him. Characters evolved or collapsed because of him. Entire careers were defined by whether they stood with Roman Reigns or stood against him. That kind of influence does not fade quietly. It ends with impact, and often, with destruction. Recently, something has changed. Not in a loud, obvious way, but in a way that feels far more unsettling. Roman Reigns no longer feels like a man protecting an empire. He feels like a man deciding how to burn it down on his own terms. His expressions are colder. His words are fewer. His patience feels thinner, yet more controlled. This is not exhaustion. This is focus. This is the mindset of someone preparing to close a door that once defined everything. Every era in WWE eventually reaches a crossroads where evolution becomes unavoidable. Fans sense it before it happens. The energy shifts. The reactions change. What once felt eternal suddenly feels fragile. Roman Reigns' era has reached that moment. The question is not whether it will end, but how, and who will be left standing when it does. Roman Reigns understands legacy better than most. He knows that history does not remember long reigns alone. It remembers endings. It remembers the final acts, the betrayals, the shocking turns that redefine everything that came before them. He does not want his era to quietly dissolve into nostalgia. He wants it to be remembered as something that reshaped WWE completely, even in its final breath. There is a sense that Roman Reigns is no longer fighting for dominance. He has already achieved that. What he appears to be fighting for now is control over how the story ends. That desire is far more dangerous. A man protecting power reacts. A man deciding the ending dictates. Roman Reigns has always preferred to dictate. Those closest to him feel it first. Allies begin to sense distance. Conversations become shorter. Trust becomes conditional. In Roman Reigns' world, loyalty has always been currency, but currency loses value when the market changes. If an era is ending, loyalty may no longer be enough to guarantee survival. Roman Reigns has never been sentimental when evolution demands sacrifice. The WWE Universe has witnessed betrayals, power shifts, and shocking twists for decades, but this feels different because it carries weight beyond a single storyline. This feels like the dismantling of an identity that WWE itself relied on for years. Roman Reigns was not just a champion or a faction leader. He was a symbol of authority. When that symbol moves, the entire structure trembles. What makes this moment even more compelling is Roman Reigns' silence. He is not promising anything. He is not denying anything. He is letting speculation grow, letting tension build, letting everyone project their own fears onto his next move. This is psychological warfare at its finest. Roman Reigns understands that anticipation is often more powerful than action. There is also an undeniable truth that WWE cannot ignore. New stars rise only when old structures collapse. Roman Reigns knows this. He has been both the rising star and the established gatekeeper. If his next move truly ends an era, it may also be the spark that launches several new ones. That does not mean he will step aside gently. It means he will choose who benefits and who burns. The idea that Roman Reigns could deliberately end his own era sounds contradictory, but it aligns perfectly with who he has become. Control has always been his greatest weapon. Ending an era on his terms ensures that even in transition, he remains the central figure. He may no longer dominate weekly television in the same way, but his shadow will linger over everything that follows. Fans have begun to interpret every moment through this lens. Every interaction feels loaded. Every stare feels intentional. Every pause feels like foreshadowing. WWE thrives on moments that feel bigger than the ring, and Roman Reigns has always been at the heart of those moments. His next move feels designed not just to shock, but to finalize something that has been building for years. There is also a sense of inevitability in the air. Roman Reigns has accomplished nearly everything there is to accomplish. When a character reaches that level, the story must either repeat itself or evolve dramatically. Repetition dulls impact. Evolution creates history. Roman Reigns has never been interested in fading relevance. He seeks transformation, even if that transformation is destructive. Ending an era does not necessarily mean walking away. Sometimes it means changing the rules so completely that nothing looks the same afterward. Roman Reigns may still stand in the ring, but the dynamics around him could shift so violently that the old structure becomes unrecognizable. That is often how true eras end, not with absence, but with irreversible change. WWE has always been built on cycles. Heroes rise, villains fall, and legends eventually become myths. Roman Reigns sits at the intersection of legend and active competitor. His decisions now will determine whether his era is remembered as dominant, tragic, revolutionary, or all three. Few performers have ever held that level of narrative power. The emotional weight of this potential ending cannot be understated. Fans invested years of loyalty, frustration, admiration, and debate into Roman Reigns' journey. Ending that era is not just a creative decision. It is an emotional one. Roman Reigns understands that pain creates memory. If his next move hurts, it will also endure. Behind the scenes, WWE thrives on moments that redefine direction. A single decision can alter storylines, elevate new stars, and change audience perception overnight. Roman Reigns' next move feels like one of those decisions. The kind that forces everyone else to react, adapt, or fall behind. He has always thrived when others scramble. There is also the question of identity. If Roman Reigns' era ends, what replaces it? WWE has leaned on his presence as a stabilizing force. Removing or reshaping that force introduces uncertainty. Roman Reigns knows that uncertainty creates opportunity, especially for someone who thrives in chaos. Ending an era may simply be his way of reclaiming unpredictability. Some fans hope for redemption. Others fear devastation. Roman Reigns offers neither reassurance nor warning. That ambiguity is intentional. He has always preferred to let actions speak louder than promises. When his next move arrives, it will not ask for approval. It will demand acceptance. The idea that an entire era could end with a single decision speaks to how deeply Roman Reigns has shaped WWE. Few performers ever reach a point where their choices redefine the company's emotional landscape. Roman Reigns stands firmly in that rare category. His next move will not just affect one storyline. It will ripple through the entire roster. As anticipation grows, WWE feels suspended between past and future. Roman Reigns represents both. He carries the weight of what has been and the uncertainty of what comes next. Ending an era does not erase its impact. It solidifies it. Roman Reigns understands that finality gives meaning to dominance. There is also the possibility that fans will not fully understand the significance of his move until much later. History often reveals importance in hindsight. What feels shocking today becomes legendary tomorrow. Roman Reigns is crafting moments meant to be replayed, analyzed, and debated long after the dust settles. In professional wrestling, eras do not truly die. They transform into reference points, into standards by which future generations are measured. Roman Reigns' era will become one of those benchmarks. Ending it deliberately ensures it remains intact, not diluted by overextension or creative stagnation. As the moment approaches, tension replaces certainty. WWE thrives in that space, and Roman Reigns owns it completely. His next move feels less like a twist and more like a statement. A declaration that nothing lasts forever, not even dominance. When the era ends, it will not be quiet. It will not be gentle. It will be unforgettable. Roman Reigns has never done anything halfway, and he will not start now. His next move may close a chapter, but it will also define how that chapter is remembered. The WWE Universe waits, not with comfort, but with curiosity and unease. Roman Reigns stands ready, not to defend an era, but to end it. And when he does, the landscape of professional wrestling will shift in ways that cannot be undone. Follow, subscribe, and like.